What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. I am Mike,
I'm Duran.
and we just gonna jump right in it. So this is part 2. What is more important in a relationship, compatibility or
Chemistry.
thank you?
Yeah, I did that on purpose. I dragged behind, but you know why I did it?
Why?
Because it was before I forget. So as I was saying, on this part 2, when you have chemistry and then you have compatibility, when you have chemistry with somebody else, that turns into a sneaky link. That's why people have sneaky links, because you feel chemistry with that person, but you feel compatible with the other person, but they're missing that chemistry, and you feel like you need this chemistry, so you need to have somebody else to give that to you. So you don't want to give up the compatibility, but you want to stay with the chemistry because it's comfortable. And that person doesn't get to jump into compatibility because you getting what you need and then you leaving.
So this is like a grass ain't always greener.
Yeah, it's a grab and go. You this person make you happy, they laugh, you get your laugh on, you get elevated, you like, all right, cool, peace. Gotta get out of here. We don't see me, I don't know you, you don't know me. Until next time. You call them when you need your next fix.
So do you feel like, this might lead into a whole nother like question, but do you feel like being what am I trying to say here? Not compatible, but being
I can't. It's that chemistry and compatibility. You got to come on with it.
That's what I'm trying to say. Do you feel like having chemistry with someone, like if you're in a relationship, having chemistry with someone outside of that relationship kind of opens that door?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. Because again, we going. This has to be another podcast because we're gonna jump into maturity. I'm gonna bring it back to maturity again. You have to draw limits for yourself. If I'm gauging my compatibility with one suitor, I can't go to another suitor and then hit them with this chemistry, because then the chemistry is always going to be more fun than compatibility because it's less work, it's less understanding. I come into it, I'm like, hey, I'm right there on the spot. I already know what I'm fishing for. I threw my fish around in the water. Boom, you already know what's up. You was cool being caught. We're going to do our do. Now I go back to this, and now I'm doing this work. Okay, so I like red. You like blue. Okay, you like to get up at this time, but I don't get up at this time. Or you like to do this, and I don't particularly like to do that, but I like you.
I like your fishing analogy. It's a whole lot easier to catch a minnow than it is to catch a shark.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, for real, and I'm talking from experience. So as I'm obviously married, and for people who didn't know, I'm married. Michael's married. We've been married forever and ever and ever and ever. We have these situations that pop up where you talk to somebody, but you have to gauge these people's intentions. Because I know where I stand. You need to know where you stand. So in order for that to happen, we have to go through that gauntlet. Somebody's like, I like him. I really like him, so I feel like he's compatible because he stands for the things that I like, but I'm unattainable. So you have to stay in that. We just got chemistry side, and that's that.
We're going to have to do a part 3 of this, because what I really want to do is get our wives on here, because my wife warns me all the time about chemistry, right?
The being too friendly.
Being too friendly with other people, because she says that sometimes with me being nice to other people and having that chemistry of, oh yeah, we can talk, like we have good conversation. It comes off as opening that door for more, right? And that's never the intention, and that's never the goal when I'm talking to someone, or like if I find, oh man, we could talk, we have certain things in common, like, right. Oh, you like this show? You like Grey's Anatomy? I watch Grey's Anatomy. Let's talk about it. Right. But then if in their mind opens up the door of, oh, we have chemistry, I kind of like this guy. Like, that's not the intention.
Right.
So at what point and this is going to be more of a question for the wives when we get there, like, do we have to turn that off because we don't want to send the wrong message?
No, because who could you talk to if you did that? If you did that, who could you talk to? You can't talk to nobody. And let me tell you something. Do you think women? I'm doubling down on what you said. Have a sixth sense for these things, or you think it's coming from another place? Because I recently had a woman tell me that I'm too nice, and that it may give the females a different opinion about how I'm coming off to them. And I said no, because that's not my intention. I'm a very clear and concise person. So if I'm just talking with you and just because we laughed, that's not telling you that we have this great chemistry. That's just me as a person. This is my personality.
And so what I was told was that women know a good man, and I'm not trying to like toot my own horn or anything like that, but women know a good man when they see him, right? And when they think that door is open, they're gonna try to walk through it. And so, and we are oblivious sometimes. Some men, they do it purposely and they're just out there. But I can tell you, I have honestly never went out with an intention of I'm gonna talk to this girl because I'm trying to flirt with her or do any of that. Right? I am being myself. I'm having these conversations. But I've been told that sometimes it comes off like, oh, you're too nice, or it sounds like it's flirtatious.
So
and it's not.
From brother to brother, I'm gonna tell you right here, right now, it's not. It's not. It's not up to you to determine how somebody else views you. You cannot do that. That's the problem with America today. We always trying to determine how someone takes us or receives us. And that comes from chemistry and compatibility.
But obviously, when we're having those conversations, there's some chemistry, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. And to have a good conversation with anybody, same sex or opposite sex, like there has to be some type of chemistry.
You're going to bond. The chemistry is the bonding.
Yeah.
It's relativeness. So if I'm bonding with you over the fact that we both drink Ozarka water, that does not mean that you about to be my best friend. It just means that we have a common place. I met you there, and we just enjoying this simplicity, and that's it.
You drink Ozarka?
I love Ozarka water.
I drink Ozarka too. Let me get you wet. See, that's what people think the conversation ends up being.
Because America is sexually charged. Everything is
really
sexual.
The question, it's really like this. You like Ozarka?
I like Ozarka.
Man, I drink Ozarka too, dude. It's just like this really crispness to it.
Man, I could drink a whole case by myself.
And Dasani is salty, man.
Dasani tastes like pocket water.
Okay. And that's the conversation that we have, right?
Yeah.
But when we have that conversation with other people, I feel like they take the niceness or the oh, there's this chemistry between us now. And sometimes they can flip that, which is why compatibility is the better choice. Because when you're focused on chemistry, you have chemistry with millions of people. If you meet 1 million people in the world, right, you're going to have chemistry with maybe half of those people. But are you compatible? Are you able to set down roots and see yourself in 5, 10, 15, 20 years still with this person and actually liking this person? And I think that's the issue with a lot of couples nowadays, is that they start these relationships off of chemistry. And 2-3 years into it, they think things are going to change. Things aren't going to change. The chemistry is now gone. You both realize you're not compatible, but you're so comfortable in this relationship that you're stuck in it. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years go by, and then they finally break up, and it's over with. And we're even seeing it a lot in some of our older marriages where they've known they weren't compatible for a long time. A lot of them stuck it out for kids. A lot of them didn't know who they were without their partner or without their spouse. And so now that compatibility is gone and the chemistry is gone, we're seeing a lot more of our older couples, saying, "Hey, I'm done. I'm going this route now." And marriage alone is hard. It is a constant battle of falling in and out of love, which, in my opinion, you're falling in and out of love, because you fall in love with somebody at this range, right? And then you realize, oh, this is not the same person I knew 5 years ago. And you got to fall in love with them again at where they're at. And now you're 10 years into it. This still isn't the same person, because they've grown, they've matured, they've changed, they found themselves. And it's not big changes, but over time, it's things that you have to fall in love with over again. And it's a fight. And I'm not saying like a fight against something or fight. It's a fight for each other constantly. You're making a choice every day to be with this person. When you're not compatible, you're not going to make that choice.
So this brings me to a topic that we had discussed before. When I told you that if you with somebody and you love them, then every day shouldn't be a fight.
But it's not that every day is a fight, because you're not fighting them every day, or you're not fighting for them to love you. That fight that I'm talking about is that there are so many outside forces that work against you, right? There's the chemistry with other people. There's what the world is putting on TV, what's on the internet. There's all of these things that's telling you that the grass is greener, right?
So,
and you could easily choose to say, oh, the grass is greener in my neighbor's yard, so let me step over here. But you're making that conscious decision to say, no, I'm going to stay right here where the grass is green, but I'm going to water it some more. And it's going to look better than my neighbor's yard. When people stop watering their yard because they're paying attention to their neighbors and the people across the street and the people down the street, then that's when the issues creep in. And that's why I say it's a fight, because we want to look at and compare what the neighbors are doing or what the people down the street are doing. You need to fight that and focus on what you're building and what you're growing and your grass and keeping it green. Because once it dies, it's dead.
So technically, you're fighting to stay together.
You're not fighting to stay together. You're fighting
to stay.
You're fighting the forces that are trying to keep you from staying together.
So you fighting to stay together?
No.
You are, in my opinion, that's fighting to stay together, and because you got things trying to pull you apart. We got outside forces that's doing that, but it's a whole bunch of things that go into those stipulations. So should we call them? That go into that factor. It's things you got to contribute, things you got to do. But at the end of the day, you can't start none of that if you don't have the chemistry, compatibility. Because you can have chemistry and compatibility, and that's the jackpot right there. That's what you don't see. Is chemistry and compatibility.
And there has to be, I do believe there has to be some chemistry, right? Like I say me and my wife had none. There was some chemistry because we spoke to each other, and there was some attraction, obviously, because I was looking at her and she was liking me too, right? But the compatibility is where we really, like, talking on the phone and getting to know each other is where I realized, like, yeah, I like this woman.
Okay, I could take that.
But I agree, when you got both, man, that's a hell of a thing to have.
Chemistry is exactly what it is. Chemistry leads to sneaky links if you're not on the guard. It'll take you straight there.
Hey, we'd love to know what y'all think. So y'all leave comments. Let us know what y'all think. Follow us on all social media at Before We Forget the Podcast. And we'll catch y'all next time.
See you on the next one.
Yep.